Getting her shined up, brother. Getting her shined up, brother. Welcome back to another video. I know the truck is running in the background, but guys, if you haven't already, before we get this video started, entered in the latest truck giveaway. Dawson's getting ready to go take this beast out, do some more filming so we have some more content to post. But guys, check it out. Latest Wrenchworks giveaway, truck and trailer combo now officially live. 6-speed G56. You guys know the drill. Shameless plug of the video. Go check it out. Maybe it'll be open this time. Woo! True Laramie truck. Leather interior. This thing is as mint as it comes. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Go get you some new merch. Go get entered to win this truck. I'll film you pulling away so they can listen to this glorious vehicle. Woo! Guys, that could be you. That could be you in a few short weeks. You could be pulling out of the driveway with that truck, the trailer, plus 10 grand. But you can't win if you don't get entered. Wrenchworks.com. Every dollar that you spend on the website, now through the end of the 18th, will get you entered to win that truck. Make sure you guys don't forget, because I know you do. You guys need reminded every single YouTube video. Well, whether you do or don't, you are going to get reminded. Let me see this zoom. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another video. It's rebuild season. The time has come to tear every single truck down and get it ready for the next season. This one specifically has gone to war every single time it has left the driveway. This thing has taken the beating of 2024 like an absolute champ. How it's still running, I have no idea. Michael's inside. We're gonna tear this thing down today. We're gonna pull the engine out of this beast. This first gen engine that Michael and I built so long ago is still alive somehow. Again, if you guys have ever seen videos of this, whether it's on YouTube, on Instagram, or seen him in person, this thing overheats all the time. It is just taking an absolute beating. So we're gonna tear the engine down and see what it looks like on the inside. Because from the outside, you're like, hey, everything might still be great. But on the inside, you never know how it's gonna look. So we'll get into some of the plans with this engine, but we're gonna tear it down. We're gonna pull it out of here. It is time for Burnout Truck First Gen 2.0 to come out in full swing. We have got our Freedom Racing Engines Common Rail 6.7 engine sitting inside the shop here. We'll get that moved over to the other shop. Why you can't even see my face, but a lot of motion happening in this video for the first gen Burnout truck. So burnouts next year, again, whether it's your thing or not, are happening, and we came in with a really good setup, but plenty of room for improvement. So we are going to take the first gen to the next level. Hook up our quick disconnect battery here. Make sure that's tight on here. Mr. Mic'd Up Motorsports, TK, Matthew, and Cole, and all them think we need batteries around here. Well, I'll show them. It has been getting a little cooler here in the evenings, around like 40 or 50, but I'm telling you, this thing's gonna fire right up like it usually does. Like a champ. Michael, say hello to the internet.
Hello, internet.
The truck is already crying that the 12 valve's coming out. That's what that was. The truck is crying like, no, don't take me out. I'm perfectly fine.
Big tears.
Those are big tears. Hey, you know what else is big? This crack. This crack seems to really just keep growing. That's crazy. I don't know why we do that.
Crack feels.
It does. You know where that's going? Nowhere. It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Look how clean that is, though.
Really? We actually did service this thing once, I believe, in its lifetime. But I was going to mention, on top of Michael's phenomenal engine building skills for this engine to live all these years and this last year, you know, gotta give credit where credit's due on John Muldoon's transmission that's been in here. Honestly, since the beginning. We refreshed it maybe years and years ago when we swapped to a Suncoast converter and a different input shaft setup in this transmission. But besides that, this thing has also been taking a beating. So, you know, everyone likes to say, you know, different engine, different transmission. I mean, this setup is this setup's been in here for a minute. When I say a minute, I mean years.
Man, it's been taking a beating.
Yeah, I mean, you let me drive it, obviously. Hey, look, it's still got some in it. The oil, we don't care about clarity, but we just care that there's some in it. All right, wanted to get the transmission up out of the way. That way when we go to pull the engine up, we can just kind of get it straight up out of there. A little bit easier on the first gen with 47 or 48. The adapter plate's kind of right in the way of the firewall. But Muldoon, stage 4, back from 1993, you know, really just taking the abuse. Got the Suncoast stubby shaft. Pretty sure this has a 35 spline input. Back in the day when 35s were just coming out, we got one of the first 35 splines. Now that they're kind of common practice, but we're ready to rip. We'll probably obviously go ahead and see John get this thing refreshed up. But honestly, curious to see what that looks like. Even more curious to see what the inside of this engine looks like. But go ahead and, you know, throw a strap on her, yank her right out.
I would guess lava.
Lava?
Lava was in there.
No, I don't think so. I think it's ready to rip. Fresh head gasket, maybe throw a weld on that cylinder head and stick her right in. Bro, it don't need a thing. No, like actually.
Fire rings look good. Looks like they were sealing.
They definitely look like they're sealing pretty good. We got a light.
We got a little bit of scuffage here on 2. We got some scuffage here on 2, which is very light. But these pistons look like they've been extremely hot. This is where the fuel hits.
That's definitely a 5-hole injector.
Yeah.
Michael, what do we got here?
New heart.
New heart?
Yep.
Hopefully this heart's just as good as our last heart, you know? I can't wait for people to be mad that this heart doesn't have a silly old mechanical pump hanging off the side of it. Woo! That's pretty shiny. Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say something, you know, smart, you know, a little more wisecracker than that. Too early for that?
Too cold for that.
Too cold, yeah. Are you ready for the damage report? Are the people even ready?
They're not going to believe you.
That's why I was like, you know what, we need to go through and break this thing down completely, because popping the cylinder head off and saying that it was, you know,
Fine.
good for another 400,000 miles just the way it was, you know, people are just not going to believe. So we broke it down completely. We've got a bare block. We've got all the bearings checked out. We've got the pistons. We've got the cam. We've got the crank. We got the whole shebang all broken down. And we're about to give you a brief little synopsis here. What's the one sentence version of how everything looks?
One sentence. Looks wonderful for what you did to it.
Was it?
It's not as bad as I thought. I thought we would have some piston damage.
Michael, in better language, basically said it was going to be totaled. Trash. There's a word that starts with an F that gets used around here quite frequently, but being the family channel that we are, we would never. But it's not that bad.
Let's start with the reasonable. Lifters, cam, definitely reuse. Rods, definitely reuse. Main caps, block, crank, reuse. But I think just because we're here, we'll put bearings in it.
Okay.
Definitely need to do at least rings, if not rings and pistons.
So the ring
It's smart to do pistons after knowing what I went through.
the heat that parts took English, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we've got some minor scuffing.
I mean,
the scuffing that you were.
What I was expecting
Was going to be
way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse. But this doesn't look bad. And there is still ring tension, like the rings aren't stuck in the pistons.
Oh, what engine did we take apart? Oh, we've taken apart some factory 6.7 stuff that was like honestly worse than this. Like, yes, stuck like well, honestly, what the carbon buildup basically was kind of like lodging everything together.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this stuff isn't clean enough, but like, I mean,
Marketplace says, man, she'd go for another 200,000-300,000 mile, no problem. I mean,
expectations. Putting it back together, do you expect it to last another season? Like, we should probably just
I mean, this kind of like gets into what we're going to be doing with this. So like my plan and my goal for tearing this thing down was, I honestly thought it was going to look a lot worse. We wanted to kind of like basically take this recipe and mimic it and redo it again. We thought we were going to be rebuilding quite a bit more. We're still going to send things off. We're still going to get them checked, machined, all that good stuff. We're not going to completely throw it back together willy-nilly, because what we did in the first time kind of worked out very, very well. So I think that's still the game plan. Like, we're gonna do we essentially need new pistons? I mean, if you were trying to like backyard throw this thing together, I mean, honestly, we probably should have never taken it apart. But we're gonna try to like take something that's maybe, I don't know what, at 60-70% and just move it back up to 100 and kind of like.
Pretty good number.
Yeah. So I mean, were things blown out and worn out? No, but I mean, how's the block look in here?
Same as the pistons. You can see where a little bit of scuffing is, but man,
I'm not sure if the people remember the engine that is the factory engine that got rebuilt in the Shorty. It's not a factory 6.7 Cummins bottom end. Somebody was in there and somebody rebuilt it. The scuffing in the cylinder walls in that engine, that takes quite a bit of beating, looks worse than what this thing does. So it's really not bad, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense other than ninja things, ninja built. But here's the crank. I mean, just
happy.
You know, it's probably because 12 hours only make 300 horsepower, but Well, I know that's not as dramatic as what we were anticipating of taking this thing apart and saying, "Oh my gosh, it's destroyed." But it's honestly kind of fine. It's ready to be rebuilt.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah, sorry to give you guys a boring synopsis of an engine that got the absolute teeth kicked in, and honestly, you know, probably could have kept going, or honestly probably would have if we didn't care. But
I'd say if the cylinder head wasn't cracked, we would have kept going.
I was gonna say we needed to do something about that, which we're still working through some of that. But honestly, the cylinder head doesn't look too terribly bad. I mean, it's definitely gotten hot, but we'll see what we're gonna end up doing with this beast. Well, my friends, there you have it. A complete teardown of the first gen's 12 valve engine that we built so long ago. Honestly, quite shocking of the carnage that is not inside of this engine. Me and Michael were both expecting, honestly, we were okay with almost like a total loss. We're like, you know what? I'm not sure if anything's gonna be good or not, what's gonna be junk. But surprisingly enough, we should be able to kind of like send this stuff out, get it to the machine shop, get it checked over, and we'll kind of go from there. But again, the entire point was to try to rebuild an exact replica of what we just did, and I'm not sure if I've said it. I've kind of like said it briefly before. My plan is to swap the teal swept line, which is a first gen VE engine. I'd like to put this engine in the teal swept line. Not necessarily make it a burnout truck by any means, but honestly just a rowdy 12 valve setup that makes a bunch of power, and get rid of that VE platform that's in there. So rowdy 12 valve engine will live on. Again, I feel like I've always said it, even though we are going common rail in the first gen with our beautiful Freedom Racing engine 6.7 engine over here, I've always said, and I will stand by it, that we will at least have one rowdy 12 valve in the fleet. I can't get rid of all the tractors. We got to keep one tractor engine around here, and that will continue to kind of like live on in just a different truck. So if you're sad to see the mechanical pump go, it's leaving the truck, but it's not necessarily leaving the fleet. So Michael spent a little bit more time tearing this thing down. Again, we're gonna kind of strip this truck completely bare, start over top to bottom, engine, trans, suspension, driveline, like honestly kind of like the whole 9 yards. The truck needs like a complete full makeover, so we will kind of keep you guys updated on the progress on this stuff. A lot of planning still left to do, acquiring stuff like that. We won't get into all the plans right now for the first gen, other than we have got one really rowdy 6.7 common rail engine that is going to be an absolute beast in the new burnout truck 2025 coming at you. But there's your carnage update on the engine. How it looks that good, I'm not sure. Just kudos to Michael for putting together a beast of an engine. But we're gonna go ahead and send all these parts out, get everything refreshed, get everything back together, and we'll have another series probably, honestly, putting it back together, because Michael's gonna put the engine back together. Maybe we'll get into some of that on that series. Maybe if you guys are trying to build an unkillable 12 valve like we have proven literally proven here. But got a lot of parts washed up, ready to go. Got the P pump sitting over there. We're gonna send that back to Farrell. Who knows? We might send that off. Might turn that 12 mil into a 13 mil pump. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Appreciate you guys as always. If you haven't already, make sure you guys get entered in the latest giveaway, wrenchworks.com. Still going on. Make sure you guys get in. We'll see you guys in the next video very soon. See ya.